Okay, everybody, so now we're going to go through some movements of the pelvis and hips. So it's interesting to know where your hip joints are. So I'm just showing a pelvis here so you can see. So you have the pelvis in the front and you have the hip joints which are at the level of the pubic bone. And then you put the femur bone in the hip joint. You can see that the thigh extends further out than where we're going to touch. So I'm going to give you some cues on how to touch where this is. And then we're going to go through the movements of the hips because this joint is the primary joint for level changes, for weight transfer, for how to move well and put less stress on your back and your spine and actually have better posture. So moving this joint well is a really key thing for functioning well. So what I'd like you to do is touch your pubic bone and go straight off your pubic bone all the way lateral until you feel a hard bone. And that hard bone you're going to be touching is this guy. It's your greater trochanter. That's the level of your hip joints. It's that low. And that's the bottom of your spine. So now when you put your thumbs there, bend your knees a little bit and take the fingers across the crease and halfway in the middle of the crease between the middle of the pubic bone and that bone you're touching, put your fingers in the crease. And then stand back up. So the weight of the upper body lands this close to the middle. This is the top of your legs, not out here, right here. And you can see it one more time before I put this bone away. You can see that the femur head is here in the middle, or close to the center, and the weight lands there from the upper body. So we're going to get a sense of the movements that happen. So just imagine when you're putting your fingers there, let's just go through the movements. The simplest one is the first one is just lifting the knee. Now see the ball of the femur rolling back in the socket as you lift the knees. And let's do that 5 times each side, lifting the knee. And as you're lifting the knee, you're just moving the leg. You're not hiking the hip or rounding your back. It's just the leg moving in the hip joint. And again, let's do that. Lifting. Think of the standing foot as growing roots. Your knee is tracking right over your hip. Now the second movement is the pelvis rolling over the top of the leg. Same location. Now the pelvis rolls over the top of the leg. So from a side view, you can see how low the hip joint is at the bottom of the spine. So if I'm rounding my back to roll over the top of my leg, I'm actually flexing my spine instead of just hinging in my hip. So it's fine to bend the knees, but let's see if we can hinge without changing the shape of the spine. So if you're keeping your fingers there, soften your knees a little bit. Now you're going to hinge right here without changing the shape of the spine, hinge the pelvis over the top of the legs, then come back up, and I'll do it from the side view. You hinge. And notice, can I avoid this with my neck? Can I keep my neck straight? And don't worry about how far you go. Let it just be easeful hinge. That's movement number 2. That's squatting, or hinging. The third movement is squatting. So when you squat, both bones are moving, the thigh and the pelvis, but the hinge is the same. Again, you're keeping it the same. And one more. Now we're going to do that 2 more sets. But I recommend when you practice, you do 5 of each, 4 of each, 3 of each, 2 of each, 1 of each, with the goal of becoming more skillful in moving at this place. It also is moving synovial fluid through the joint. So first one, knee lifts, ball rolling back in the socket, pulls back, rolls forward, back, forward. Standing leg, stable, well aligned. Pelvis over the top. Each time you're doing it, just take in a little more information. Is my weight even on my feet? Can I move easily? And then squat. Knees tracking right over the center of the feet. And 1. Now we're down to 3. Arms are relaxed. Your arms are not really a good strategy for bracing and balance. Just feel the weight of them. Hinge. and squat. 3, and now 2. So if you want to become a better mover, get curious about how to move better on the things that you do often. 1 more. And then squat. Shoulders are easeful. And now 1 and 1. And we'll do 2 sets of that. Now the last one, which is a really great movement for your pelvis and your hip joints, is called horizontal rotation. So my left foot's forward, and I'm going to rotate my pelvis to the left and to the right around my fixed standing leg. So my left leg doesn't move. And once I get a sense of it, you want to make sure you bring your head up over your spine so you're not looking at the floor the whole time. So now when I step, I'm going to step and form a T with my right foot, and then step back and form a T the other way. But I'm watching that my posture is upright, and I'm not trying to step as far as possible. I'm just stepping and forming a T, and I'm stepping back. Now the movement, as you can see, is happening in my left hip joint. And this is moving the synovial fluid. You're getting that range in the joint, which is really healthy for the joint and for your movement ability. So you step in, you step out. You step in, you step out. 2, 3 more. You step in, you step out. You step in, you step out. You step in, you step out. And it's nice after you do that, just compare. You might notice that side feels very free in comparison to the other side, even though we've already done things with the other side. So now we're going to switch. Now your right foot will be forward. The movement is stepping to the right. The right foot stays the same. You step and form a T. You step back. Step forward. You step back. Again, you're focusing on posture, easeful motion. Your little own personal samba. Moving in a fluid way. 3 more times. Make sure there's no torque in the knee. It's just the movement of the pelvis around the top of the thigh. 1 more. And then compare. So those are the movements for your hips. Once a day if possible. Great for your body. Now we're going to go to the movements of the spine and shoulders. So for this movement, first just take the shoulders forward and take them back. And what you can notice is that your shoulder blades move away from the spine, and then they move a little bit towards the spine. And while you're doing this, you don't have to take your shoulders up to your ears anywhere in this movement. When we go like this, we're fighting gravity unnecessarily. So just let the shoulders stay low. Imagine the shoulder girdle is designed to be fluid on the rib cage. Now we're going to add something to that. So as you come forward, take the fingers back. And then as you go the other way, take your fingers back the other way. And that gives you a nice stretch in the nerves in your forearms, which also help to open the shoulder girdle and improve your posture. And so now we're going to add the spine. So there's 3 primary ranges of motion or movements you can do with the spine. Flexion and extension, lateral flexion, and rotation. And we're going to do all 3. So the first one is flexion and extension. So I'm going to do it from the side. I'll do it from the front and from the side so you can see it. So you'll take the shoulders forward. You'll bend the knees. Now you're going to take the tail slightly forward, the head slightly forward, and pull your waistline back to create a long C shape in the spine. Now you'll lengthen the legs. Now take the part of the spine behind the breastbone forward and up, keeping the back of the neck long, the blades pull back. Exhale, bend and curl. Inhale, lift and extend. Flex and curl. Lift and extend. Show from the side as you flex. Long C shape. Lift and extend. You just open the top of the chest so you don't overarch the lower back. You're exhaling as you're going forward. Inhaling as you come up. And 1 more. Fluid motion. There you go, right into lateral flexion. Soft knees, side bend. Center, side. Now, the primary thing you're doing is you're getting the joints to be lubricated in the ranges that they're designed to move. And if the spine becomes lubricated and fluid, then the brain says it's okay for you to let your muscles lengthen. There's a relationship between the joints and the muscles that's we need to take care of. One more. And now you're going to bring the hands to your shoulders. You're going to roll the shoulders back and bend your knees. Now in this position we're going to do rotation, but imagine you have headlights on the front of your hips and on your knees, and the headlights don't move. The headlights stay forward. So the rotation is from the bottom of the breast bone up. So when I turn, I'm not going to take my knees and my hips with me. I'm going to turn from the waistline and shoulder girdle to keep the hips centered. And then notice as you're turning, is it possible to relax the tops of the shoulders and move in a fluid way on a stable base? Let your eyes lead the movement. So we do 5 of each, then we do 4, 3, 2, 1. So now we'll do 4, flexion and extension, exhale, curl. Inhale, lift and open. One more time. Then we go right into lateral flexion, soft knees, side. Inhale, center, exhale, side. Let the head naturally rebound back from the muscles in the waistline. One more. And then hands to the shoulders again, roll them back, drop onto the top of your legs. Headlights forward, turn. One more. And now 2. Flexion, extension, flexion, extension, side, exhale, side, center, side, center, side, center, side, center, drop onto the legs, rotation, 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 and now 1 and 1. Flex, extend, side, side, rotation, rotation. One more set. Flex, extend, side, side, rotation, rotation. Now then just shake out your limbs. You can do that anytime before you're going to walk, hike. You've been sitting for a lot of hours. It'll help decompress your spine, up your energy level, because you're not just moving your organs or your muscles and joints, you're also moving your organs. Very healthy for your inner body. Now we're going to do a roll down. Now if you have any lower back issues, make the movement small and listen to your own body. You don't need to go as far as I go in this next exercise. So we're going to bend the knees. Now starting from the top, we're going to peel down through the spine. So on the exhale, you're just going to let the head go. Sequentially peel down through the spine, soft shoulders. Allow the pelvis to roll over the top of your legs. At the bottom, nod your head yes. Rotate it no. Now take a breath, and as you bend the knees a little more, feel the back of your hips draw down as the front of the spine floats up. And stack the spine in a fluid fashion and arrive in line posture. We'll just do that 2 more times. Inhale to bend. So curl down sequentially. Feel the back chain of the body stretching and lengthening. Pelvis rolls over the legs. Take a breath. Soft knees, roll back up 1 vertebra at a time. So you're aligning yourself, you're creating space and better posture. And 1 more. Curl. Fluid breath at the bottom. Exhale, stack it up in a fluid fashion. If you just have time to do just what we just did, that'll take you about 10 minutes. I recommend you put that in your life. It'll be really useful. Now we're going to come onto the mat. So I'm going to come to a kneeling position. After you've done that prep, you come to a kneeling position for shoulder blade slides, and a cat stretch. So from here, you spread the fingers nice and wide, and try to create a straight line from the top of your head to your tail, and have your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. So as you inhale, you're going to let your shoulder blades slide in towards the spine, but see if you keep your elbows straight. So the shoulder blades will slide to the back. And now as you exhale, you're going to widen the shoulder blades and float the body up. Now as you notice, I'm not grounding my back to do that. I'm just letting my shoulder blades do what they're designed to do, which is slide around the ribcage. They slide in, then they slide wide and low. Now we're going to add a cat stretch to that. So the next one is you widen and lower. On the exhale, as you widen and lower the blades, draw the head and tail towards one another and lift the waistline up. And as you inhale, reach the tail back, let the blades come in and open the chest to the front. Exhale to curl as you widen and lower the shoulder blades. Inhale to extend and open the chest. Look a little forward. 2 more. When you use your shoulder blades this way, you'll feel your abdominal muscles and back muscles are working in better connection to the motion. So now we're going to go into lateral flexion. So now you're going to take your right foot off the mat, and take it out to the right and look at it. And take it to the left and look at it. And make sure that you don't look under your arm. That's a $50 fine. And you're distorting yourself if you do that. And back to the middle, you lift the other one, you'll take it out, look over the shoulder. So this is opening your spine in that lateral plane that we did when you were standing, giving you a little more freedom in your lower back, all the way through your body. Now from there, we're going to tuck the toes. Now if you have tight hamstrings, don't worry about straightening your legs. Take your hips back, keep your shoulders low, and lift the hips up and keep the knees quite bent. Think more of a straight line from your head to your tail. Now all you're going to do is just slowly straighten one as you bend the other. And then alternate. Again, there's no strain. Your arms are long. Your neck is long. Do that 5 times on each side. One more each side. And then come down and help yourself onto your back for a little ab work. So, in this position, have your feet in line with the bottom of your sit bones at the bottom of your pelvis. And put your heel of your hands on the front of your hips and your fingertips on your pubic bone. Now see if you can make those 3 points parallel to the floor. So that's what's called a neutral pelvis. That's a good place to start. If that's uncomfortable, it's okay to lift the tail a little bit up or reach it down. Just find a place that feels there's no discomfort for you. Now we're going to just go into breathing. So when you breathe low, let the belly move a little bit as you breathe in. And then on the exhale, just follow the exhale to the end. As you can notice, the belly will naturally come in. So if we're breathing with our diaphragm, we're breathing low in the body. You're relaxing your neck and shoulders. You're just letting yourself experience this relationship with gravity. Now the next exhale, as you exhale, curl the tail towards the knees. And then inhale and reach the tail the other way into a little bit of an arch. This is preparation for a bridge. So you're learning how to initiate the curl from the bottom of the spine using your pelvic floor muscles and your abdominal muscles. Now the next one, on the exhale, as you curl, peel the spine off the floor like a piece of tape, 1 vertebra at a time. Now at the top of the bridge, you want a straight line from your knees to your shoulders without doing a back bend. So the ribs are in, you're working from the back of your legs, and you're creating a nice line through the body. Now from here, you inhale the arms back, again without arching the back. Now sequence the breastbone down away from your chin, 1 vertebra at a time, like you're tractioning your spine away from your fingers. Once you're all the way down, float the arms to your side. And again, exhale, curl. Reach with the breath. And then traction down. I'll just do one more. And reach. Equal pressure to both feet. Now we're going to come up into the bridge and hold it and do a little marching. It's really good for your pelvic stability and your leg strength. So exhale to curl. Now imagine you got a tray across your pelvis and it doesn't change. You don't tilt it. On the exhale, just going to lift one leg. Now you're hinging in the hips like you did when you were standing upright. So you're working through the back of your legs, your glutes, your hamstrings, your abdomen, but you're also working on efficiency and alignment. And then curl down. Now we're going to go to abdominal exercise, so bring the hands behind your head. Now imagine that your pelvis stays the same, doesn't arch or curl. Take a breath, and on the exhale, without pulling on your head, as you exhale, nod your chin. Now slide the breastbone away from your chin to curl up as far as you can without pulling on your head. Inhale back to the start. So you're using your abdominal muscles to lift your upper torso, but you're also getting a sense of lengthening your spine, opposed to trying to crunch your spine. So that name crunch has its challenges. One more. Now we're going to do an oblique. Your obliques are the muscles on the side. So imagine just touch your ribs. Just slide your hand from your rib to your opposite hip. And imagine these muscles are what's going to turn you instead of turning from up here. So you'll curl up the same way. Now from here, turn on the exhale. Inhale to the middle. Exhale to turn. You'll notice my knees and my pelvis are not going with it. You're wringing out the towel in the middle of the body. We'll do 5 each way. You're exhaling to turn, you're inhaling to the middle. One more. And then to the center, bring the knees in, rock around in your lower back for a moment. And then rock up. You're going to come onto your belly. So on your belly, this is for your upper back muscles. A little credit card for you. Now from here, your arms and palms will be up. When you're lying on your belly to protect your lower back, imagine anchoring the front of your hip bones and your pubic bone to the mat. Have the legs long, and just engage your belly when you go into the movement. So the shoulders are back and down. Head's in line with the spine. Just lift the nose about an inch off the floor. Now you're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, start to reach the upper chest forward like you're pushing a marble forward with your nose to come up and reach through the fingertips. Inhale back down. Exhale to extend. Notice the shoulders stay away from the ears, and there's a little bit of pressing up as you get towards the top. Neck stays long. 2 more. Important part of your posture, if you sit all day, you have to strengthen these middle upper back muscles. And 1 more. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press back to a child's pose. If the child's pose is uncomfortable on your knees, you can stay a little bit more upright. Just round your back. Take a few breaths. Let yourself become foldable. Relax your neck, your back, your hips. Then you'll roll up and you're going to do a seated stretch for your legs and for your spine. So we'll fold one leg in. Again, if this is hard on your knee, you can have both legs straight. Otherwise you'll fold it in. Now the leg you're going to stretch, I recommend you bend it. Have it be more important that you get up in your pelvis so you're on your sit bones as opposed to being behind your sit bones. So think of your sit bones, the bones at the bottom of your pelvis are like a canoe. You don't want to be in the back of the canoe. You want to be in the middle of the canoe. You're right up on it. That's more important because otherwise you'll stretch your back trying to stretch your legs. That's not so great. So now just hold on to wherever you can comfortably hold the leg. And now think of lengthening the front of the spine up. And now start to press the heel down, and that activates these muscles. Now as you do that, just press down and breathe. And after you've taken 3 breaths, you're going to keep the lift up on the sit bones, but you're going to reach the forehead towards the knee. Again, the shoulders are away from the ears, so just take 3 breaths. You could hold the foot. Here you could use the strap. Those are all options. One more breath. And then roll up through the spine. And we'll switch sides. So again, make sure you're up. Bend the extended leg a little bit so you're up on your sit bones best you can. Reach, take hold of the lower leg. Now draw the spine, the front of the spine long. And press the heel down. And breathe. Now keep that sense of lift in the lower belly or lift in the lower spine, but just curl forward without rounding back with your pelvis. Again, you can hold the foot, the floor. One more breath. And we'll finish with a spinal twist. You can cross your legs. Now, if this is uncomfortable, you can sit on a block, or you can sit a little bit elevated if you needed to. You could even sit in a chair. So you're going to push your knees up, and pushing your knees up helps you sit up better. Take your arms up like this now. Activate your armpit muscles. Turn on your muscles under your arms, your lats, side body. Now turn from the waistline. And then when you fully turn, then put your back hand down, your other hand on the outside of your knee. But keep that sense of lift through the center of your body so you're not just doing the twist from your arms. That's now from here, I'm going to turn my head back to the center. As I inhale, I'm going to resist back the direction I came. So I'm going to resist with my body back to the left. So inhale, resist. Now the exhale, I'm going to take my head to the right, and from my waistline, turn a little deeper. Stay in the twist, but take my head back to the center. Inhale, resist back to the left. Exhale, turn, but keep your neck soft. And one more time. Head to the front, inhale, resist. Now the resistance is not heavy. It's just so you feel the muscles that twist you. Then exhale. And then back to the center, we'll switch. You can activate, sit tall, turn. Hand to the outside, head to the center. Resist back to my right on the inhale. Exhale, release the resistance and turn deeper to the left. Head to the middle. Resist right. Exhale, turn left. One more, make sure there's no strain. Inhale. And then exhale. Back to the center. So that's going to cover it. I hope you enjoyed. Practice often and take your time. Any movement that you don't feel like you've got it yet, go a little slower and just keep cultivating a good attitude. Think of this as a way to actually have a relationship with your body. It's not just about exercise, it's about you becoming more skillful throughout our lifetime so we can stay healthy and have our body last a lifetime. So enjoy and be well.